Jon Stewart's clapping cheeks, aliens are turning into atom bombs, mass shootings, police detectives, and time jumps. This is all happening in episode 1 of Lanterns. We gotta talk about it. So to start things off, Lanterns episode 1, we initially get the build-up of Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan kind of going through their training arc, how they met each other, how Jordan originally got the ring, and what Jon Stewart has to do essentially in order for him to be the official Green Lantern. As of right now, he can use the ring for smaller stuff, but momentarily. And Hal Jordan has to give him the ring, which we kind of see at the beginning. There's a scene where they're driving the car, right? And this was in one of the trailers. Hal Jordan jumps out of the car, tumbles on the floor. Jon Stewart flies off the cliff, and he's forced to make something at that point with the ring in order to save his life. And the motto kind of is, like, if you're meant for the ring, then you'll have the ring. And that's what Hal Jordan keeps trying to teach Jon Stewart throughout this whole thing. But man, Hal Jordan is just a dick, man. He really is. His cocky attitude is almost his whole persona throughout the show. And that's how he gets everything done. And at the end of the day, it can be somewhat annoying, but that's how Hal Jordan is. He was a cocky pilot, did the awesome stuff. He was the best at what he did, and the ring chose him because of his no fear and cocky attitude. And that carries over through the show that we have right now. Every place he shows up, he's miles ahead on, let's say, like IQ and detective work, because he's been doing this thing for years and years, 20 years, I think he said, during the show. So he knows what's going on. He can detect stuff that normal people can't. He knows when people are faking being aliens, and that's essentially what we have and where this story picks up. So originally, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, after he gets thrown out of the car off the cliff, Jon Stewart makes something, protects himself, goes and finds Hal Jordan. He kind of tells him, he's like, hey, yo, first off, that was a dick move, throwing me off a cliff. Let's not do that again. Secondly, you have a projection come from the ring of yourself from the past telling you that you need to go to North Carolina in order to investigate something. So he takes off. Jon Stewart has to take the long way around. He rents a vehicle. He has to take a flight. He doesn't have the ring yet, so he can't just blast off through space and go all the way to North Carolina. He catches up to Jon, and this is where the mystery begins, right? So there's a mass shooting at a football game. Everyone's kind of suspicious. No one knows what's going on. Everybody in this town is so tight-knit, and they know each other. The lawyer's dating the sheriff. It's just one of those situations. Everyone's either related or married, or they're clapping cheeks. And we also see that later on from Jon Stewart. What a dog. I respect it. What a dog. But Hal Jordan picks up one of the people there, doesn't quite look like the others. There's something off about him, and he's done this so long, he knows when someone's an alien or not. The sheriff doesn't buy it. She's like, yo, this isn't your jurisdiction. You have no right here. This guy is human. He's like, I'm telling you, he's alien. So they go back and forth. They bicker. They have some history and stuff from the past and everything that's going on. And essentially his goal now at this point is to get arrested. That way he can then get thrown in jail and then kind of talk to the prisoner himself if they're in the same jail cell. And then he can figure out for himself if it is an alien or not. Doesn't work well. He ends up needing to get bailed out by a lawyer in the town, which essentially is like, hey, in order to pay for this bail, this like $200,000 bail, come have dinner at our ranch house. Just come, we'll make friends, we'll have fun, we'll chit-chat it up and see what's going on. And then you don't got to worry about paying the bail. So then at this point, Jon Stewart essentially is clapping cheeks from some chick that he met in the bar. Dude's a dog. I respect it. He just got off a long flight. He had a long day. You need to release some steam. I get it, dude. I get it. You're an animal. It's fine. So he essentially goes with Hal Jordan, and they go to this ranch house for dinner. They try and meet the people, and it all seems to be going well. But deep down, both of them know no one pays a $200,000 bail and doesn't want something in return. So they're trying to figure it out while they are at this barbecue, what this guy really wants. And a little bit later, the guy Jon Stewart clapped, or the girl Jon Stewart clapped, shows up. And it's the ranch house, the guy that owns this property that paid the bail, it's his wife. He clapped the dude's wife. And that happens. I guess that happens in this town. I was like, surely this has to do something with the plot later. That we're just swinging around Jon Stewart's massive dong, which, hey, game is game. You know, like, don't hate the player, hate the game. If you get a chance to clap a Green Lantern or have them clap your cheeks, she's gonna do it. And you know what? I understand. If there's an alien, I'd clap her cheeks, right? If I was given the opportunity. And you just roll with it. I'm sure something later on that has to do with the plot, and we'll find out later. But as of right now, it doesn't really go anywhere. And at this point, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are like, all right, we need to interrogate this guy, see if he's really an alien or not, and see what's going on. And it pretty much ends up with Hal Jordan interrogating him, asking him questions, seeing what's going on. He's like, yeah, I knew you were an alien this whole time. And the guy pretty much confesses it at one point. He's like, and what if I was? What were you going to do? I'm here for revenge. And my failsafe, by the way, is like an atomic bomb attached to my skeleton that I can set off whenever I want. And he does that. As soon as he sets it off, Hal Jordan immediately bubbles it with his ring, catches the explosion. Now the shock wave still goes through and everything, and it's crazy, but essentially saves the entire town from being destroyed. This is one of the best moments we get to see of the ring being used so far. We saw it earlier because he used a $20 bill. He made one counterfeit, put it in the jukebox in order to initiate the fight that got him arrested so we could try and get thrown in the jail cell and everything like that. But other than that, then we saw him kind of capture the explosion inside a big green bubble, which we've seen many times in like the cartoons and stuff like that. And it is rather interesting, and it kind of leaves off with that. That's in 2016, and we get a slight time jump to 2026, which would be current day for them. And the show, it's all snowing. Jon Stewart's driving back to North Carolina. He meets the sheriff. They talk. They catch up a minute. And he's like, does anybody else know about this? And the answer was no. And what turned out to be is they go up on the bleachers where they originally started their first mission together, one of their first missions essentially, and they see Hal Jordan seems to be frozen to death right there. No ring on his finger, and the show ends. That's kind of where the mystery is picking up. What is the alien doing here? What happened? Does Jon Stewart have the ring? Is the ring missing right now? And what really happened to Hal Jordan that he just ended up freezing there? Is there a way to save him? Is there not? Is he dead? They didn't really give us that much info. It kind of left off on a cliffhanger in order to keep us watching and stuff like that. Overall, a good episode. It did feel kind of slow, if I'm being honest, at the beginning between the Hal Jordan and the Jon Stewart back and forth. Like, partially, I was like, I get it, dude. You're a dick. It's your character. I get it. And he keeps doing it and doing it. It kind of drags on. You're like, oh, my God. But he does use it to his advantage to try and solve mysteries, to solve the case, what's going on, to gather information. So I like that more when he's using his cockiness and his arrogance and his skills and tactics to build the show, to build the mystery and bring us along with it, as opposed to just kind of doing it to throw it in there and be like, this is my persona, I'm cocky and all this stuff. So if he's like that the whole way, but it's building the story and it's building the mystery, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be good. I think we're in for a good mystery because I really don't know what's going on. And this all is canon. The world already knows about aliens and stuff like that. And they know Hal Jordan. They know Jon Stewart. They're Green Lanterns. They know that they're almost like celebrities at this point, stuff like that. So it is interesting to think about that. I am intrigued to see where the rest of the show goes. This episode alone, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, but it's hard to rate episodes alone just because of the reason, like, it's an incomplete story. You don't really know everything that's going on. I could honestly even maybe give it a 6 out of 10. It's slightly above average television at this point. There is a mystery. I am intrigued, and I like the Green Lantern characters. If it wasn't Green Lanterns, I don't know if I would still be intrigued. Like, because that's part of the reason I'm hooked to come back is because I like the Lanterns and I like the DC Universe. And the other part of the reason is the mystery. So if it wasn't Green Lanterns, I don't know 100% if I would be coming back to the show off this one episode alone. I'd just be like, oh, great, there's a cocky cop and a guy and a rookie and a trainee, and there's a mystery going on. But the fact that it is Lanterns and it is kind of darker, it's like a TVMA rated version of it, I am intrigued. I want to see what happens with the Lantern Corps, and I want to see what happens with the aliens as well as the rest of the world that James Gunn is building with the DC Universe. But essentially, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you watch this? Did you even remember that Lanterns was coming out? And did you like it down below? And are you excited for the rest of the show? Let me know that, and I'll keep you guys up to date. We're going to be reviewing all of it. Make sure to follow us, stay up to date for all gaming and movie news, though.